Hey, good morning, everybody. Ty Garner here, and wanted to share with you a little bit this morning out of the book of Luke, chapter 23. And we're talking about Pilate here, and he's got Jesus before him on trial. The Jews have brought him, Jesus, and they're wanting him to convict Jesus. And I think deep down, Pilate really knew that Jesus wasn't guilty, and it said it several times in there that Pilate didn't think he was guilty, but he was ultimately overcome with political pressure, and he caved in. He gave in to the political pressure. But verses 23 and 24, it says, "But they were insistent with loud voices, asking that he be crucified. And their voices began to prevail, and Pilate pronounced the sentence that their demand be granted." What do you do when your integrity is on the line? What do you do when you've got the pressure of maybe losing potential money or power, or letting others know where you stand as a believer? I think as a believer, we're held to even a higher standard. I know I'm faced with different situations at different times that, because I live out my faith often in video or in social media, it's like I'm held to even a higher standard. Sometimes it's frustrating, but I may feel like I'm getting taken advantage of, but it's because I live out my faith. But what do you do when it comes down to the difference in losing money or keeping your integrity, keeping your Christ-like integrity? I think it's really hard to find these days in the business world people with true integrity. And in this political climate that we're in, it makes me think a lot about politicians and how there's, I think, a lot of good people are politicians, but they often succumb to losing their power. Here, Pilate knew the whole reason why he made the decision he did. Obviously, God was in control of that, but ultimately, he was fearful of losing his power. And he knew deep down that Jesus wasn't guilty of anything, but ultimately he gave in. So what are you going to do when it comes down to making a decision to keep your power, keep your money, or give God honor? That's my challenge to you today. I want to know what you would do when it comes down to that, because we're going to be faced with that one day. And I just was reading a little article that I just shared about a guy that was living out his faith and was killed just in cold blood because he was living out his faith. He was willing to die for Jesus. What are you willing to lose money for Jesus? It faces us often, and it's a tough situation to be in. But if you live out your faith, you're going to face that. So I challenge you today to live out your faith. Don't be like Pilate. Don't give in, but live out your faith for Jesus today. Hope you have a great day and talk to you soon.